What's up guys, welcome back to Finance to Fly. My name is Luke and I'm here to help you elevate your travel while minimizing your spending. Today, we got another episode of Travel Rewards Weekly, What's New? We're going to be covering all the notable news, transfer partners, and sign-up bonuses, stuff like that happened over the last week. And yes, I am back from missing last week. I was out traveling for work, and as you can tell, I got a little bit of a cold still, so bear with me on that, and we'll jump into the news now. Pretty much right after last episode came out, some news hit that there is new federal refund laws for airfare. I wanted to cover those because I think those are overall pretty good for the consumer. It might raise prices, but still I wanted to cover those since those are new. So first point that they added is that airlines have to automatically refund you if a flight is significantly delayed. What they term that as is domestic is 3 hours and international is 6 hours. They also have outlined that you are entitled to a refund if your baggage is lost and you had to pay baggage fees on that. This should be automatic as well. And they consider this delayed if it's 12 hours on domestic or 15 to 30 hours on international, depending on the route and stuff like that. And then lastly, they also consider you to have to get a refund if you bought something like Wi-Fi, something ancillary on the trip, and it did not work. But this refund is not automatic and you will need to submit a claim for it. Overall, my thoughts on these three changes, I think they're pretty good overall. I think they all do benefit the consumer. The first one though, on the automatic refund if it's delayed after 3 or 6 hours, I think that could raise prices during the winter season, which could be negative, but it's also positive. I mean, a lot of people do get delayed during winter, December, January, February, especially in the Midwest, the North, stuff like that. I think it will be nice to automatically get those refunds, but I do think this will have a little bit of price impact considering there's a higher chance of them having to refund a whole flight and then take the flight. So I do think that there is that chance that those prices go up a little bit. But the other two, like the baggage fee and the ancillary fees that you're able to get refunded, I think those are overall net positive. I don't see any downside to those, especially the ancillary fee. If you paid for something and it didn't work, I mean, yeah, you should definitely get a refund back. I mean, that's kind of common sense. But then as well, the baggage, I mean, you don't want to pay $45, $50, $60, $70 for a baggage fee, and then it just doesn't even show up to your location. So moving on to sign-up bonuses, we're going to be covering the last 2 weeks since I missed last week's, and there's a lot. First off, the Amex Platinum currently has 2 different elevated sign-up bonus offers. The first offer we're going to call the Resi offer. You have to get it through signing up through Resi's page. It's 100,000 points after 8,000 spend the first 6 months, and you get a bonus multiplier of 10x points on dining, up to $25,000 spent in that first 6 months. This means you can earn up to a total of 350,000 points if you do take advantage of that 10x on dining. The other elevated offer is on the Charles Schwab Platinum card. This has an elevated offer of 125,000 points after 8,000 spent in the first 6 months. Overall, both of these offers are pretty good, definitely better than the standard 80 to 100,000 point offer. If you can take advantage of the dining on the 10x, then I definitely would recommend, but you have to at least spend about $10,000 in dining to make it make sense, considering there is a 175,000 point offer out there that's floating around. If you can't spend more than $7,500 on food with that 10x on dining, then I definitely would go for finding that 175,000 point offer. It's just easier to get those points. And then obviously the Charles Schwab Platinum, that's a pretty nice offer. I mean, it's obviously not the highest, but it's a good offer on the card. That I don't think they offer more than 80,000 points more than once a year, so it's good to see that one has an elevated offer. Next up on the sign-up bonuses, Alaska Airlines currently has a massive sign-up bonus on their credit card, 100,000 points. It's 50,000 points if you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, and then another 50,000 points if you total $8,000 in spent in the first 6 months. Overall, I do think this is a fantastic offer on the card, as I think it's the highest it's ever been. Not 100% sure, but you also get that companion pass, which is great, but there does come some negative speculation with this. It's the all-time high sign-up bonus. Why is this coming right now? Well, Alaska just did merge with Hawaiian and all those points, and so it's pretty easy to get Alaskan miles now that you can go from Amex points to Hawaiian to Alaska. So I do think this is coming with an Alaskan mileage devaluation. Yes, the DOT did mention that they can't devalue Hawaiian miles, but they never said anything about Alaskan miles, so I do think Alaskan is going to raise award prices considering this all-time high sign-up bonus and the ability to transfer from Amex to Hawaiian to Alaskan right now. But I do think this card is worth getting if you can get the sign-up bonus pretty quickly and then redeem pretty quickly. I wouldn't get it to hold the points around because I do think there's a devaluation coming pretty quickly. Marriott Marriott Bonvoy Bold, I just happened to see it when I was on their website. They have an elevated offer. It's 60,000 points plus a 50,000 point free night award after 2,000 spend in the first 3 months. This is actually a really good offer considering the card has a no annual fee and the standard sign-up bonus is like 30,000 points. If you don't want a high annual fee hotel card, this is an awesome offer to take advantage of, especially with Marriott if you want Marriott card. Now, Southwest just launched a new offer on all their personal cards. It's the same offer. It's $400 in statement credits plus 40,000 points after 3,000 spent in the first 4 months. I would say this is a pretty high valued sign-up bonus considering their all-time high is 85,000 points on most of those cards. And this can be pretty valuable considering it can get you 2 to 3 round-trip tickets depending on where you're going and stuff like that and your dates you're flying. Overall, I do like the statement credit option. Obviously, I personally would go for the 80 to 85,000 points. The statement credit option is pretty nice, especially if you want to pay cash on a flight coming up and then you'll get that reimbursed through the statement credit. Lastly, on the sign-up bonus offer news, the Chase Sapphire Preferred 60,000 points and $300 travel credit offer is ending today, November 14th, 2024. If you have the opportunity to jump on this offer, I definitely think it's worth it. It's the highest offer on this card that I've seen, other than the 80,000 points you're able to get, or the 90,000 through branch, I think was a year ago, something like that. But either way, this is the highest offer. It's been in a while, and I do think it's valuable. It's pretty easy to get $1,050 out of the travel portal. I mean, you don't have to even try to get that value. I think it's pretty good overall. So moving on to transfer bonuses, and there is a lot going on right now that has been announced in the last 2 weeks. Amex currently has 3 transfer bonuses currently live. The first is Marriott with a 35% bonus till the end of the year. Then the next 2 are Avianca Life Miles and Cathay Pacific, both 15% until the end of November. From what it seems, the Marriott should be available to everyone, but I've started to notice that some people have Cathay Pacific, some people have Avianca Life Miles. I personally have Avianca Life Miles bonus, but I don't have the Cathay Pacific bonus. So I think it's your miles may vary when it comes to that. But hey, if you got one of those bonuses and it just happens to work out with a trip you're planning, I definitely would take advantage of that because it's just free points. And the Marriott one, obviously, I would make sure you have a good redemption considering Marriott points are not worth as much as Amex points. For Capital One, you currently have a transfer bonus to British Airways for 20% until December 1st. I think this is a good way for you to get some extra avios. Last on the transfer partner list, this one has been mentioned by me before, but I also mentioned that there was changes coming, so hold off. But now that we know the changes are here, the Virgin Atlantic 40% bonus from Chase looks pretty good. From what I've read and what I've seen, there was no changes done to partner airline awards, so those are all going to stay the same. The one thing that did change though is Virgin Atlantic, its personal awards. Instead of having a set amount on each flight, now you can book any seat on the plane with points, depending on how many are booked and stuff like that. It will give you a dynamic award pricing. This allows you to get to Europe for as low as 29,000 points in business class. Of course, you have to find that availability, especially now that it's going to be harder, because I mean, that's probably one of the best ways to get to Europe, because they also did lower the taxes and fees. I don't know what to, I think it's like $200-300, but that's so much better than it was before. And if you factor in that Chase transfer bonus of 40%, that's 21,000 points, gets you over to Europe in business class. That is a really, really good deal. Of course, there is downside with that. You can book any seat on any flight, right? Some flights will have business class tickets up at 400,000 points, and I don't think that's worth it. I think I like the change overall because it will lower the amount of taxes and fees, especially on the business class flights. I would like to know how many seats are going to be at that lower award rate, the saver award rate as they call it, and then how many it goes up by. So like say, hey, 3 in the saver, then the next level is like 40,000, next level is 60,000. I'd like to know that. I don't think we have data on that. If we do, I'll let you know. Now, wrapping up the news, I got some unfortunate news. Wyndham Rewards Business Card is losing that Caesars Rewards status match. For those of you that don't know what that is, pretty much if you had the Wyndham Rewards Business Card, you would pay for like a $99 annual fee, and then you'd get the status, which is on Wyndham, and then you'd be able to status match that to Caesars Palace, get diamond status, and I'm pretty sure you'd get a free trip to Atlantis, a $100 dinner credit, stuff like that, some good Vegas perks. That is no longer the case. As of February very first, you will not be able to do that, and I do think this is a big hit to this card. I know for a fact I did look at getting this card, and I do think this is a big hit to this card. I don't stay at Wyndham's, I stay at Marriott's, Hilton's, Hyatt's, IHG properties. I don't need a Wyndham card, but I did think about getting it because the Caesars status match was such a good offer. Now that it is gone, I do think that it's going to make a lot of people drop the card. To quickly end on a positive note, Citibank just filed a trademark for the Strata lounges. I believe this is going to eventually lead to Strata lounges in airports, stuff like that, similar to how Capital One and Chase have followed Amex and Suit, because it seems like those are very valuable into their ecosystem. And from what it seems like, Citi is trying to make themselves a lot better, a lot more desirable to have as a card. It's really starting to become interesting on what they're going to be in the next 3-4 years. So wrapping things up, there was a lot going on today. What do you think? Are you going to take advantage of any of the elevated sign-up offers? Are you going to take advantage of any of the transfer bonuses? Did you have the Wyndham Rewards business card and now are losing that Caesars status match? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.